Hello and welcome to the Q&A podcast with me and my twin brother, where we take questions from you and get them answered by you. Our topic today is social action within media. Here is our first question. Someone from Twitter has asked, how can a social action bring out local, national or global change? One of the answers we've got here is, if enough people see or believe in the cause, a social action can bring change through either the funding or people power. The funding would go toward buying whatever was needed, be it equipment or materials, whilst a large number of backers could help by either raising further awareness or help with the cause itself. An example given here is the social action video for Coney 2012. Though some of the facts were incorrect, it brought about global change in America and more importantly Uganda through further attempt to try and find and stop Coney and his LRA. Our next question is, how can social action change attitudes? One of the top responses, and this got multiple upvotes, was when a social action is for a cause that resonates or is more personal to people, they will tend to change their opinions and attitudes to feel more strongly and act more toward helping. On the flip side, they could also result in people completely changing opinions to be for or against something. Political campaign videos are crafted to make people support them further. An example is a video made for Donald Trump's presidential campaign, where anything negative said about the government would primarily cut to his rival Hillary Clinton to create both a negative link and, by proxy, a distaste for her side. Another good example mentioned here by someone else is Jamie Oliver's social action video about the unhealthy state of school dinners. Not only did he make changes personally, but it changed people's views and attitudes to the issue, making more effort go toward making lunches healthier. Okay, next question coming in from Facebook this time is, how can a social action create access to media production for non-traditional groups? This answer came to us from one of our moderators actually. It was, since a lot of larger media companies decide themselves what is important or relevant for the viewer, a non-traditional group have the freedom to say what they want to say. This can often make the video more emotional or have a bigger impact on the viewer. A lot of these will have the Coney 2012 example, because it has a lot of things you can draw upon. Again here, the video for Coney 2012 was placed on YouTube by an independent film company. The result was a video that had more emotion through footage from Uganda and the narrator's own son's opinions, even though he's about 4 at the time, and the reactions of those taking part in the campaign. This would give the viewer more of a drive to help the cause. Next question is, how can a social action create or strengthen community ties? There are several techniques that are often used to do this. One is to promote a community charity event that people can personally get involved in. Another is to give the viewer a way that they can participate in the social action itself in some way, shape or form. Any action that is taken will strengthen community through the good cause they are working for. The Military Wives Choir are a good example of this, because not only do they work toward helping military families need help, but also provide a way for other halves to socialise with people in their local area. This connects the community, allowing people to be familiar with everyone. Furthermore, the charity work they do makes living in a military society more comfortable. Next question is, how can a social action challenge dominant representations and agendas? When social action gets enough support, the sheer numbers alone will give them power to get their voice heard by the higher organisations. Not only this, but the awareness the video provides will make those higher up decide to take action to avoid embarrassment in the media, thus giving them bad rep. Once again, using Jamie Oliver as an example, his opinions on the state of food at schools caused a change in how the education system handles lunches. They became healthier and less packed with artificial nutrients, as well as causing parents to take control of their children's food more. Next, coming from a friend of ours in the studio, how can a social action provide information? In regards to information, we had several responses on this. As long as all the information in the campaign or video is accurate, social action can inform the viewer of all the good the charity is doing for its cause. It can also provide statistics, facts and other pieces of information that can persuade the viewer that their cause is worth supporting. This can be done through interviews, surveys, secondary research or basic statistics. Massive controversy around Coney 2012 as it had a lot of information in it, but a lot of it was incorrect. Yet people did become quite vocal around it, so although the information was incorrect and a lot of it quite fake or untrue, it did do its job quite well. This answer, which was said quite a few times actually, the word differently, was through videos, charity events, functions with celebrity endorsements, social networking and other such techniques, social actions can raise awareness for their cause, This will in turn give more income for the organisation to endorse into further campaigns or directly to the cause. Once again, using the example of Kony 2012, it had millions of views and success. An enormous amount of awareness was raised with everyone around the world suddenly knowing the issues surrounding Joseph Kony. Within months, 600,000 people had got involved in the action, with some of them being well-known celebrities and politicians. How can a social action be a campaign, is the next question we're getting here. We had several lengthy basically essays from Facebook in regards to the campaigns, saying that some videos for social action won't just be to raise awareness or provide information about a charity, they may also be used to promote a campaign that is taking direct action, which a viewer can participate in. Kony 2012 was a global campaign to make sure everyone knew the issues surrounding Joseph Kony. People could purchase posters, bracelets and other things to not only donate to the charity, but also to further raise awareness for the campaign. The impact did result in more effort being towards stopping the LRA, including military support from the USA sent into Uganda. And then again, using Jimmy Oliver as an example, he campaigned to make school dinners healthier, showing how artificial a lot of the food is, and aiming to replace it with healthier alternatives. The campaign was to national proportions, resulting in massive change in schools across the country. And finally, quite a controversial one, is how can social action change voting behaviour? Quite relevant. Yes, and as you can probably guess, Trump will be brought up in this one. When a video is made to promote a political campaign, the video will be edited in a way to make the viewer believe that the opinions provided are the right ones. This can be done by painting the opposition in a bad light, by providing expert sources or simply relatable interviewees. As I mentioned before, Donald Trump made a video to belittle, I guess in a way, his opposition Hillary Clinton through videos and montages, putting her next to negative comments or imagery. Another very popular example that we will bring up was about Hitler, in fact. His political campaign in the 1930s, which despite his intentions obviously being horrific, was supported by the majority of Germany. This was done through speeches and videos that were edited to make it sound like all intentions were to make Germany a better country and a better society. Moving on to our next section, we have someone asking for 2 examples of social actions and how they've done their job either well or worse, I guess, in a way. The 2 that we're going to cover for this one, because we mentioned it a lot, are Kony 2012 and a video that someone's going to make about the military-wise choir. Obviously, Kony 2012 was about the issues regarding Joseph Kony and his LRA in Africa, and the militarised choir are obviously a choir that are all supported and run by wives, girlfriends, other women related to people in the military. Kony 2012 was a global issue that needed action due to the continued expansion of the human rights issue that was Joseph Kony and his child slave army. He'd evaded capture for several years, and so a campaign was created focused on aiding victims of his LRA. The militarised choir cause is mostly a national issue, though there are a few choirs set up in other countries. There's one set up in Indonesia, apparently, of all places. Where are we here? The action is needed toward helping families with members in the military to help with arranging anything from simple things like improving the local community around, say, military bases, to giving advice about housing in debt, and to supporting families who've lost their husbands or boyfriends in the military. The figurehead for the Kony 2012 campaign was Jason Russell, who was a founder and director of the charity Invisible Children, which works towards helping the children who are victim to the LRA. Kony 2012 was a campaign using the idea that people could get involved in donating and spreading awareness for themselves. The video was very successful in the video was very successful in this regard, getting support from millions upon millions of people around the world. It's set out to give the background information about the issue, as well as invoke an emotional response from the viewer through interviews and victims, as well as Russell's own son. However, most of the information was incorrect and not the full truth, so it did lose a lot of support and legitimacy through this. It did strengthen a large portion of the world behind the cause and rake in lots of money for the charity, as they believed they could help and make a difference, but the criticism made it carry less weight. The video that's going to be made for the MWC won't be a campaign, instead being an awareness film that promotes the work the choir does, both as a charity and a community. It will give the viewer all the facts about the group's history, as well as some interviews that give some insight into how the choir personally helps people. The video itself won't strengthen community, the notoriety gained as a result may help to warn it. Through the interviews with members of the choir, viewers will hopefully feel emotion for that group, the emotion what the group go through when their family is away on a detachment, in horrible places like Iraq or Afghanistan, places like that. The personal connection will make the video effective at changing people's attitudes to the choir, showing that it isn't just a group of people singing, and instead a large community that gives emotional and charitable aid. Well, that was very insightful. Thank you for all the answers and questions coming in from all our Twitter feed and Facebook followers there. Love to see you next week. Been me.